Yeah. It looks like we're probably going over the game soon. We might be doing that right now.
Coming in 16th seed, Noah Loss.
Yep. Oh, they did do it.
Okay,
so
they did do it. Now we need to change John's record to 6-0. So we're both 6-0, Dylan and John Bristow. We've seen Dylan earlier in the round playing big basics.
Yep.
And will Ray be right? Will John be playing Kling Klang?
I don't know. If I'm wrong, it's not going to surprise me. I've been wrong so much today. He's going to flip over like Excelgor or something crazy. And I should be wrong about all. No surprises. Flips over like Excelgor.
Yeah.
Or Gothitelle Luck. That is a funny deck. Have you seen that? It's Gothitelle with Celebi EX. And it has hammers, and it's like a hammer time deck with Gothitelle. It's really weird, but it's pretty fun to play. I definitely think that Flygon Dusknoir deck that people were talking about definitely fell off.
Right.
I don't think that made it much farther than
no,
like 3-0.
At this point in the game, we're going to see a lot of big basics. Kling Klang, Dark Rise.
Luckily, Pokemon is... It's competitive, but it's not like super cutthroat. Like, I'm pretty sure Dylan and John are going to have a good time playing this game either way.
Yeah, like we said before, they've been playing each other since senior division.
Yeah, they're old friends.
Yeah.
And rivals. But.
And it appears Dylan won the coin flip.
Yeah, using an old school coin. I can't really tell what it is, though. But, yeah, I can. Okay.
And we didn't mention earlier, but the coins that are allowed in Pokemon are either these theme deck coins or translucent six-sided dice.
Yep. No, not translucent dice because they could be weighted, or I think that was the reasoning behind it, is that they could be weighted. But
yeah.
Hopefully nobody would do that anyways.
Mid-seed, Elliot Salas. Elliot.
We're just kind of waiting. Yeah. John.
Okay, now they're starting.
Okay, they're starting.
Oh, no, we have another big basic deck from John.
Again. It's a big basics mirror.
And we said...
This is another Ho-Oh deck.
Okay, Dylan went for the early laser. Looks like it's Tails.
Yep.
Dylan's opening up.
Is that a giant cape?
Yes, giant cape.
Okay, that's very interesting. I don't think we saw that when he played before.
He does have Skyla. Probably search out a supporter for next turn.
He doesn't. Does he have another? No, I don't think he has another supporter in his hand. So that's actually not good for him. He doesn't have fighting, does he?
DC switch. He could go for Ultra Ball Tornadus, but
I don't like that play. He doesn't have a stadium.
Right.
It's not going to do much.
No. So yeah, he'll most likely get some type of supporter.
It's probably declumping a little bit here. Bad Dylan. Not supposed to declump, but everybody does it, I guess. Yeah, he gets a
Juniper. He gets a Juniper.
So we get to see a little bit more of his deck. He plays the Eviolite, Giant Cape, 15 Tech, Scramble Switch. I saw 2 Eviolites. So he plays at least 2 Eviolites and a Giant Cape.
And the Garbodor.
Yeah.
So, no, you know what? We do not have the correct players up here.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the Conley. Okay, see.
I'm...
That's why.
What?
Yeah, they said I'm wrong. Okay, so... well, let's get the...
Could we switch to John? I want to see what he's playing, too. Would you rather switch, or... yeah. No, that's not them either. That's Garbodor.
Dylan does not have Garbodor. That's them.
Yeah, because Dylan has a medical
Yep, this is Dylan and John. Okay, we're sorry about that little glitch.
Okay, so I was right. John is playing Klinklang, and I have redeemed myself. That is a good sign. The other matchup that we actually were just seeing was actually Con, because you already said it, so.
Yes.
It's Conley, national champion, making his comeback debut today.
Playing Garbodor. Garbodor Big Basics.
Big
Shut
Basics.
down the Klinklang decks.
So that we
Blastoise decks.
We could see him next round, actually, maybe. But
so over here, John got the very early Plasma Clang out.
But we could also see Dylan go for Victini right now. He has the fire in his hand. If he can get a turn 2 Victini, or turn 3 Victini, that could be super strong, especially since John doesn't have an energy in play. I think he's been whiffing on energies. We didn't really get to see the first couple turns.
Well, the key is, can Dylan fill up his bench off this Juniper?
He doesn't need to. I don't think. Unless he doesn't need to do it this turn.
Right.
But if he does. Oh, wow. Okay, so he does get an energy switch, but that's pretty irrelevant. He just really needs to fill up his bench. He has the Laser Verbank, so he's actually going to take a prize on this Klink this turn. And DCE,
there goes
so that's
one
not going to help
Klink.
him. Let's see. John draws an Ultra Ball. He has a Max Potion in his hand. That's a few Max Potions here. He probably has a Juniper. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So he's going to Max Potion the damage off of Klinklang. Juniper, or Ultra Ball first. Probably get another Klink.
No, Keldeo.
Could this be the Keldeo Darkrai version? I don't think it is.
Well,
but
he may have the Keldeo in there for Victini tech.
Or to retreat, or to have, when he runs out of switch, he'll have Keldeo in play. And I saw Blend Energies, so it could also be for against Landorus for some reason. In case he can't get Plasma Clang out, he could attack with Keldeo. But if he plays Darkrai and a bunch of other attackers, we could just see him playing that version.
Yeah.
The old school version of Klinklang. But I didn't see Prisms when he was shuffling.
But I did see Blend. Yeah, so.
Double Heavy Ball. So we'll actually get to look at his deck here. Okay, so we didn't get to see all of it, but I did not see Prism. So I think he's just playing a Tech Keldeo with 4 blends. Which can be strong. It's actually
double Klink.
It could be dangerous here, though, to have that Keldeo out, because that's not a metal Pokemon. It can be knocked out by Landorus or Mewtwo.
Right.
And if he can't get the Shift Gear out, he could potentially lose 3 energies off of the Keldeo if he tries to Secret Sword the Landorus.
Yeah, so Dylan should feel comfortable. He's able to attack the Keldeo at this point.
Yeah. Looks like John has another Plasma Clang in his hands. Okay. So Dylan attaches a Fighting to Landorus.
And yeah, that looks like Dylan's gonna hit the Keldeo for 30.
So
and
I don't think Dylan's going for the Victini play this turn because he attached Fighting to the Landorus. He might be looking to actually try to Hammerhead this turn, put 30 on the Keldeo. And then next turn, he might be looking to Land Judgment to knock out the Keldeo, which would be an incredibly strong play. Which is actually what I think he should do.
Yeah.
Because if he lets the Keldeo knock out the Landorus, that's not good for him.
Right.
So John's attachment to the to the Keldeo could be bad if he can't get a Shift Gear Klinklang out, and Dylan does what we just described, which is what he's going for.
And Dylan does have the N to try and get the catcher.
Oh, wow. So John has a pretty nice setup, but he is not going to get a Shift Gear Klinklang out this turn.
Okay, so we'll see if Dylan pulls into that catcher.
If Dylan gets the catcher here with the DCE or an energy, that's going to be huge.
Yeah.
And once he does that, if he can pull that off, he has the V-Create Victini up to just start killing everything else. He's just going to go run through John if he can get this. And John actually still needs to hit a blend. Secret Sword only does 50. It's not going to do anything unless he catches up the V-Create Victini, which could be relevant. He could do that.
And here's Tropical Beach.
I think he's just going to catch a Landorus or a Mewtwo.
There's a catcher.
I don't think it matters much which one he catchers up. Or Buffalon. I might not catch up the Buffalon because he could energy switch in DCE.
Right.
But, okay, so he does catch up the Mewtwo.
Mewtwo.
So that was definitely a defensive catcher. Forcing Dylan to have the switch to be able to pull all this off. John's questioning whether or not to bench that Cobalion EX. Okay. He is going to do that.
In hopes of drawing a shift gear.
He's probably just going to beach this turn. It's really nothing he wants to do.
No.
Putting 30 on to the Mewtwo is not going to do much.
And he does have a Skyla for that catcher.
Okay. So Dylan needs a switch, which he has. Okay. So Dylan, does he have an energy? Okay. So Dylan has everything. He's probably going to take a little while to think about it. He'll realize it. And he'll probably go for a catcher here. Yep. Oh. That's interesting. Not really sure what he's... Oh, so he's going for a V-Create Victini. That's a fine play as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
As long as he keeps John... Prevents John from getting to 3 energies, both of those plays are fine.
Right.
I don't think there's any way Dylan can lose right now. Even though that's a bold statement to make so early on. But he's a very good setup. And he could
John may be running DCE.
That's true. And, well, if Dylan doesn't get a support, he didn't have a support in his hand either. So Dylan could get his Buffalon catchered up or something, and John could make a comeback through attaching energies. So that's too bold of a statement to make so early on in the game. But
so John's Dylan went for the real early Victini, and he's putting the pressure on.
Definitely.
And was that N from last turn?
Yeah.
So that needs to be discarded.
They'll realize it.
Eventually.
Eventually. I believe that's a Skyla and a Verbank that Dylan got off of his prizes. Oh, no, a Skyla and he got a catcher?
Yeah.
So that's actually really, really good. If he can catcher up the Keldeo and just land judgment it, knock it out, John's energies are all gone.
Yep.
That will be huge. John's probably thinking about what to do. He does not have the best hands. I think he has a supporter, though. I think he has an end. What are you doing? All right. So John's going to rush in. That actually saves Dylan a catcher if he just beaches or something.
Unless he rushes and switches, try to drop his hand for beach.
But did he play a supporter this turn? I don't think he did. Okay, no. So John probably has a plan in his mind. He usually does anyways. He knows what he's doing.
Okay, there's a blend. And could it be the only blend he runs?
So he's going to go for not computer search. He might go for Ultra Ball, get shift gear. I definitely see a shift gear, so they're not prized.
And is this another list that has opted out of comp search for
dowsing
or scramble switch?
Is that a scramble switch? That looks like it could be a dowsing machine or scramble switch, to be honest.
Right.
I can't really tell. I would assume dowsing machine, though, because he plays shift gear, so... Yeah, I definitely think it's dowsing, but I could be wrong.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Maybe.
Right.
So, here, John is actually... He might be getting low on switches as well. I think he's discarded a couple. Which isn't good for him. If we see him pass here, I don't like him rushing in. Because Dylan can retreat and then land judgment.
Right.
And John rushing in saves him a catcher.
Okay, so shift gear.
Okay. Okay, so I see what he's doing. He might be baiting the land judgment.
Right.
That actually might be a bad play. Because if John can catch her up the Victini next turn and knock it out with Cobalion, then he will have no non-EX attacker beside Bouffalont, and he can hopefully keep the max potion up. So this could be a very next level play by John by trying to bait Dylan into land judgmenting the Keldeo.
And John does Tropical Beach, so let's see what Dylan does with that catcher.
So this turn, I would expect to see the optimal play would be for Dylan to catcher the Cobalion EX and just knock it out. If he attacks the active, then I think Dylan fell for the bait.
And that Eviolite is saving Victini from the non-EX Cobalion. Energy press.
Is it? No, I don't think we get knocked out anyways. Right? 20 plus 40 is 60.
60, yep.
So
he would be 10 short.
Yeah. Yep. So he is borrowing my Tropical Beach. Top 32. Okay, so yep. Dylan does not fall for the bait. He catches up to Cobalion, realizes what John's trying to pull.
Yeah.
Gonna go for the V-Create. Just get the 2 prizes.
Take another energy off the board from John.
That's the key thing, is taking the energy off the board. And then next turn, if he just Skyless for a catcher here, or if he has an energy in his hand, he can Skyless for a catcher and seal up the game if John doesn't have an N. Or he can just go for an energy search if he doesn't have that. Or he can go for a supporter.
And there's the energy search.
Yep, so now all he needs is a catcher and he wins the game.
Yep.
But I don't think the last card in his hand was... Okay, so he has a Chorus. So Dylan has a good hand to get the catcher next turn. Yep. Okay. John's in a very bad position right now.
Quite bad. That early Victini really's helped Dylan.
So Dylan's last-minute choice to tech the Victini appears to be paying off for him here. If he wins this match, he guarantees himself top cut.
Yeah.
All right, so John does have the N, ending Dylan to 1. Dylan needs the catcher to win the game. If he doesn't get the catcher, that's not even that bad because he can V-create next turn.
Right.
So
he can V-create. He could also beach to draw into catcher.
Yep. Yeah, John's own beach could just lose him the game.
Right.
Here, I don't really see any play John can do aside from energy pressing that would be relevant. I don't even think energy pressing would be that relevant.
And look, he pulled 3 of his blends.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, he just
so he's scooping. Okay, Dylan goes 7-0.
Yeah, John falls 6-1.
And we see Kling Klang fall. Yep. Dylan is knocking out all the Kling Klangs. Well. It is.
So that was actually a good matchup. That was well played by Dylan.
I like that Victini tech that Dylan decided to put in last minute. Yeah. You don't see that a lot in the big basic decks.
No, you do not. All right, we're switching over. I believe this is Conley. Is this... What? Okay.
Okay, just disregard the names right now. We're trying to get this...
Yeah, we're switching over. That's the good thing about this. Is that, okay, so this is national champion Conley on the left. He took a break from the game for a little while, coming back very strong. Right now he's X1, playing against Justin Peavers.
Also 5-1.
Yeah. And
Justin Peavy at 5-1.
Peavy. Is it Big Basics versus Garbodor or Garbodor versus... Okay, it's Garbodor versus Garbodor. Garbodor Mirror. So what I think... I'm just trying to observe what's going on. So Con is up by 2 prizes. It looks like Con's in the lead by quite a bit. Con might be contemplating retreating here. I'm not really sure what's up. Oh, this is Garbodor, but I'm not really sure what was up with the Giant Cape and Dylan's deck. That's interesting for sure.
I think he was contemplating Giant Cape or EXP share.
Yeah. All right. So Con might be poisoned. That might be a poison marker. I'm not really sure. All right, so Justin gonna attach a DCE to Mewtwo. X-Ball here, knock out the Landorus. Did Con not land Judgment? No, he didn't.
No.
Okay.
All right, so Justin ties up the game.
Yep. If Con can respond here with his own Mewtwo, that will be very good. That will actually almost lock up the game for him.
Yeah.
Because he can just Hammerhead, or not Hammerhead, land Judgment to bench Mewtwo for game.
All right, Justin's explaining right now the Eviolite's attached to Mewtwo.
Yep. Con's coming back into this game after a break, so he probably doesn't know what everything does just yet. All right, so Con benches Trubbish and Landorus. I don't mind benching the Trubbish because it can only hurt Justin to knock it out, because then that means he can get N to 1 or an odd number.
Right.
And knocking out the Trubbish doesn't get him anywhere closer to winning the game. So benching one Trubbish is always fine. And sometimes players catcher them out for some reason. That's happened to me before. I'll bench a Trubbish, and it won't be relevant to have a Garbodor in play, and they'll just kill it for no reason.
All right, so the Land's Judgment knocks out the Mewtwo.
Yep. So land Judgment for 130. I'm not sure how much damage the Mewtwo had on it, but knocks it out. Actually, quite a close game. Rescue Scarf, that's not going to matter.
No.
If Con knocks the Mewtwo out, he wins
Justin's
the game.
hand is less than optimal at this point also.
Yeah. Can't really see. Appears to be hiding his hand from us. Looks like he's just going to X-Ball for 60.
X-Ball.
80, but minus Eviolite, so 60.
Skyla, Con is searching for the Scramble Switch.
Okay, so he might just end the game this turn.
Scramble Switch.
Buffalo.
Lasers.
Yep. You have a Verbank as well.
Yeah, he had Verbank.
So the game's over.
Game's over.
Game is over. Yep.
Game, set, match. Conley, 6-1.
6-1. Yep.
Okay, so this is a great comeback. Conley coming out of retirement, playing New England Regionals 2013.